Well, how are you doing, mate?
I will kill people today, Frank. I will kill them with my bicycle pump, and then I will kill them again with my bare hands if I have to. And if this keeps on happening, ask me why.
All right, sorry, go on, why?
Cars.
Did you want to start that again?
No. Cars, Frank. Cars.
Yes.
I cycled here today, as you can tell, by me acting like some kind of slug. All dressed in disgusting, slimy
a Blackpool Festival of Running t-shirt, yes? Sorry, I'm just spraying a fly there because it's a really hot sunny day. Got the windows wide open. That's why AJ's decided to sneak down on his bike as well, because he's because of the weather. But that fly's got me there now. Go on. I've zapped it 3-4 times now and it's still alive. You know what? This is a rip off this raid. Mm-hmm. I am not going to sponsor this on the show. It's bloody rubbish. Anyway, sorry, go on. You hate cyclists?
No, I don't. I am a cyclist.
Oh, sorry.
But I hate cars right now.
You hate cyclists as well, don't you?
I hate cyclists too, and I'll tell you why.
Go on.
I am not that kind of traditional cyclist. I don't wear lycra. I didn't buy my bike as part of a midlife crisis. I cycle right close to the edge of the road and not in the middle of it.
You're prone to falling down potholes.
And I hop on the pavement whenever I realise there's a backlog of traffic behind me.
And you knock pedestrians down.
Every so often, yes. But no. But cars don't care an inch whether you're cycling in lycra, to the side of the road, behaving, obeying all the rules of the road, nothing. They will still fly on past you at 30-40 miles an hour with the knock wind potentially sending me into a bush and not think anything of it. They drive so close. They drive so close that I can smell their Dracar Noir and their Brill Cream hair products out of their miserable BMW 3 Series.
You've definitely practiced this.
I am fucking living. No, I haven't practiced this. I'm just on a rant. And when I get on a rant, I have a spiel, and the spiel is actually really, really good. So I am ready to kill people, Frank.
Just don't kill me because the show won't go
I know that. But so for the purposes of the viewers, I cycled to France today.
The listeners, indeed.
All right. I don't have a car right now, so I cycled here.
The car's gone back.
The car has gone back. Yeah.
So we didn't get any. We didn't get any takers, did we, last week? Then on the show.
No. So nobody's offered me a car. So thanks a lot.
Yeah. Somebody has to offer AJ a car before he goes out and kills someone. Innocent driver
with a bike pump. No, but they're never going to be innocent, are they? There will be a reason that somebody gets dragged from their car and beaten with a bike pump, and it's because they've driven too close.
Because I do consider myself to be a very considerate driver when I'm overtaking cyclists. But sometimes the reputation of cyclists, they don't do themselves a great deal of favour.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Which is why I'm marked out from every other cyclist in history, because I don't wear lycra. I
knew you were different the minute I got you on this show.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. All right.
That's why we got you on the show. You're different.
Oh, and the rest. Also, I'm cheap and available.
Yeah,
but anyway,
it's a good prerequisite to be on this show.
It pays me in water and chocolate. Anyway, but there's no chocolate today. It would have melted. But anyway, cyclists are awful people, all right? And I can say this as a cyclist, they are awful, all right? There's a certain arrogance to them all bunching up in the middle of country roads and stopping everybody from performing a reasonable overtake. He's lining...
Oh, sorry.
He's out the window. He's gone out the window.
Has he gone out the window? Good lad. Good lad. We can't close it though because it's roasting.
But he's out the window.
Yeah, good. He's out. We've got rid of a fly. We've got rid of one fly.
1-0.
We can actually say that a bottle of Johnson's. Is it Johnson's Raid? Is absolutely useless because I've used half a tin already just to get rid of one fly. I'm sure it says somewhere in the instructions that it takes a good 20 minutes to absolutely kill it off. But
to be fair, it took half a police force to arrest John Rambo in First Blood, and even then that didn't work out well.
No.
Godzilla destroyed half a city without really destroying half a city. It was just the police and the army what did it. So that fly is Godzilla at this point.
I do feel a little bit guilty now, really, because I just should have just sort of pushed it out the window.
Well, we did.
And kill it.
Well, it hasn't died.
Well, yeah, it will do. It's taken that in. Listen, its small lungs can't accept that very well, can it? It's got to go somehow.
And that, kids, is why smoking kills.
Or vaping. Yeah, you don't want to take an ounce of Raid.
No.
No.
But anyway, I got here with my stress levels higher and my lifespan considerably shortened.
So how long did it take you? If it was a 5 mile cycle and it took you roughly
I'd say about 20 minutes.
Yeah, not bad going.
That's fine. I was on a mountain bike as well, not a road bike, so it's more durable on these roads.
Just for the purposes of context, you've got to go all the way back up Parbold Hill on the way back.
Yes, I do.
Oh, listen, it'll be a little bit cooler.
It will. It's going to have to be, otherwise I'm walking.
Yeah, and I think I've told the story before about my fallout with Bradley Wiggins. Have I mentioned it before?
Mr. Sideburns himself, no.
Yeah, he was cycling in front of me and he was getting on my nerves. I beeped him, give him a few signs and what have you. He stopped, he got his bike up in the air and he ready to throw it at me. And he was walking towards me and then for some reason he changed his mind and he walked off. But that was outside St. Michael's of Dalton, the church at the top of the road there.
I see.
Yeah. So if he's listening,
sorry.
By any chance, listen, I do apologise. But
it was your fault.
Well, no, it wasn't my fault. It was his, really. But you know what? But I seen him get off the bike, and I just seen the sheer size of his thighs. Have you seen the size of cyclist thighs?
Yeah. So
enormous.
Chris Hoy's were frigging huge.
Yeah.
And I think it was well known that he was able to plate press about 400 kilos.
Crikey.
I know.
Is that what they do then? They spend a lot of time on the lower body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, all the power is going through sort of core mainly, but hips, quads, calves, you name
Heart, lungs, yeah.
And heart and lungs, of course, yeah. But it's intense. Being a cyclist like that is intense. But being a squitty little shitty lycra wearing middle-aged crisis man, no, not at all.
Well, I do tend to agree with you with the lycra. There's nothing worse than seeing a 50-plus man who's overweight in lycra. I just don't get it myself.
No, me neither.
And to be perfectly honest with you, in general, I don't like lycra. I don't like to see people's breakfasts. And they've got that tight in areas that they shouldn't be. That I'm really opposed to lycra. In fact, I think it should be banned.
It's like stuffing a sleeping bag, isn't it?
Yeah, most definitely. It's wrong. There should be a law against it.
A little bit.
And it's worse in this weather, isn't it? Wherever you go now, all shapes and sizes, with the cheeks parted, and I don't know what it's called, but it's
the gut lining. Mm-hmm.
Well, and even further below that, that's the
knees. Yes.
We try not to touch the middle bit, are we?
No, we're not.
But anyway, yes. So listen, we've got really totally off track. So what have you been up to other than your cycle?
I have literally just been sitting in the garden and looking for cars. That's all. So you
could have done the show earlier. I could have gone to bingo.
No, I've been working. I work from home.
Okay, fair
but I'm not going to say that I've just been working because that's shit content for the show. We're not going to do that.
Right, so you're looking for a car.
I'm looking for a car, yeah. I've even gone so far.
Have you got a budget?
£1,000.
£1,000? Well, you'd be lucky to get a bicycle. Never bad.
Tell me about it.
Get a motorised bicycle. Why don't you get one of them?
Oh, well, one of them e-bikes.
Yeah. Not a bad idea, really, is it? What do you think about it?
That's a good shout.
Because you can get a bit... I know, listen, you can't carry anything unless you've got
exactly. I'd have to have Jamie and the dog on the back. it'd be like...
We'll get a sidecar like Georgie Mildred.
There we go.
Do you ever remember Georgie Mildred?
No.
No, you don't? Oh, you've got to watch it. He's really funny.
Right.
Oh, I used to love...
What about Wallace and Gromit? There's a much more up-to-date version, because they had a motorbike
I don't know much about them. I know I've heard the name, but I don't... No, I never watched that.
You didn't watch Wallace and Gromit?
No.
Not any of them?
No, not at all, no.
Oh, Frank.
I couldn't even tell you what it's about. What's it about?
It's about a bloke and his dog, and they live in Wigan, and they're inventors.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and Wallace is voiced by...
a very sheltered life.
Wallace is voiced by Peter Sallis.
Yeah.
You'll know Peter Sallis.
I know Peter Sallis.
Attaboy.
Oh, yeah, I've heard, probably heard some of it then.
There we go. All right, yeah. So they made 3 miniature movies, all right, which were absolute breakouts at the time.
Is this a cartoon, by the way?
Yeah, it was plasticine animation.
Unless it's Scooby-Doo, I'm not really interested.
Well, you're going to have to be. Because these are excellent.
And the thing is, and you're angry, and you've got a bicycle pump with it.
Yes.
Go on.
But it's based in Wigan.
Yeah.
All right, so they're local. Yeah. All right.
Who wrote it then?
Nick Park.
Right, okay.
Okay. And...
Who's he?
The bloke who wrote Wallace and Gromit. he's just an animator. He's an animator, but he made 3 sort of feature sort of Wallace and Gromit. A Grand Day Out, which is where they build a rocket and go onto the moon in search for a new kind of cheese.
Oh, right.
All right. Then they do The Wrong Trousers, which is where he invents some trousers that are supposed to help him get around and walk. And then Grand Day Out, Wrong Trousers, and...
Do you think they could have merged it with Scooby-Doo and sent Scooby-Doo up on the skyrocket?
Christ. No!
It does sound interesting. Listen, they merged... They put... I forget what they called it now, but they put Coronation Street and Emmerdale together, didn't they?
They did. I think that was because they were running out of ideas. God, what is it now? It's not The Wrong Trousers. Grand Day Out... What's the other one now? It's the one where there's the sheep...
Well, everybody will be talking about it now.
Yeah, Gromit's done for sheep rustling, and he ends up in prison, so they've got to break him out, and there's this mad dog that's actually doing it, and Wallace seems to get a girlfriend. What is that movie? Which one is it now?
So I'm assuming that
there'll be somebody screaming at their...
Oh, they'll just be screaming anyway, purely because you're mad.
No, a close shave.
A close shave.
That's what it's
something
called.
you never had.
Yes, I have.
Have you? I've never seen it shaved.
You actually haven't, have you?
No.
No, the last time I was shaved fully was about 2018. Like I shaved it all off for charity. Yeah. But yeah, go and watch A Grand Day Out, The Wrong Trousers, A Close Shave, and then there's A Matter of Life and Death. All right, The Curse of the Were Rabbit.
Originally just a cartoon on the evening of BBC One or something like that.
Yeah. But there was only 3 of them.
What was the one that David Jason used to do the voiceover for?
BFG.
No, there was another cartoon. I can't remember what it was.
I mean, either. You're telling me you've never seen those 2 blokes?
Well, to be fair, the fella, he looks a bit like me, doesn't he? He's bald and he's got big ears. Yeah,
I mean...
There is a similarity, like,
to a point.
Is he wearing glasses?
No, he's not wearing glasses.
No, he's not wearing glasses.
But you need to wear the green woolen sweatshirt with sleeves.
Oh, I think you could pull that off.
And then a red tie.
Yeah, I could definitely do that. So he's Wallace and Gromit's the dog.
Yeah.
Right.
And they get up to like little adventures inventing stuff, and it's brilliant. Watch Wallace and Gromit. So there you go.
It'll
take it's half an hour, and there's 3 of them. That's it.
Half an hour movies.
Yeah.
All right.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd sooner watch Countryside Murders.
I know, but just cut yourself away from Countryside Murders.
Scooby-Doo. Were you ever a fan of Scooby-Doo?
Not really.
So I watched the Scooby-Doo movies as well. I watched the one that was sort of part animated and real life, so the real characters in it. I really, really enjoyed that. And I've also watched the stage version of Scooby-Doo. That's how much of a Scooby-Doo fan I am.
God, you really are into it, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I watched it at Southport Theatre many years ago before they locked it down.
You don't strike me as a Scooby-Doo kind of guy.
Oh, yeah,
at least when you turn your nose up at Wallace and Gromit.
Definitely Scooby-Doo. And what was the other one? Scooby-Doo. Magic Roundabout. I used to like that, to be fair. Do you ever remember the Magic Roundabout?
No.
No. Yeah, you're too young, you say.
90s kid.
Yeah. There was the Wacky Races as well.
That was a belter, that one.
The Wacky Races. Yeah.
They're all on YouTube now.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, if Dick Dastardly just raced without cheating, he'd actually win, because he's easily got the best car.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, he has to engage in some kind of fuckery in order to try and win.
So other than the show, we do actually share something in common.
We do. It's the Wacky Races.
The Wacky Races. But you know what? The other thing, of course, is that because I go to the Mecca Bingo, they have a card called the Wacky Races card.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a game. It's like it's like a triangle of numbers.
Yeah.
And it's got a sort of Wacky Races background on it. They reinvent it. Sometimes they get rid of it. So they've got a World Cup special one now, football special one.
Okay.
But they have the Wacky Races, so it always reminds me of the Wacky Races. And talking about the bingo, so my wife decided to leave me, as you know, so somber. All say but she's coming back.
Hey!
She's just coming back. So yeah, she left. She's got 2 daughters to help her daughter. She's doing all the... Yeah, she's gone to Newcastle. Boyo. Oh, no, that's Welsh, isn't it?
Yes.
Why, aye, man? Yeah, she's gone to Newcastle, yeah. Sorry, I've
There you saved it.
Yeah, I've gone around. I've gone from Wales to Newcastle. That's incredible. That England to Wales to Newcastle. So she's gone there to tidy up and make sure that they get the deposit back before they leave it. Of course, and she's moving into... Steph and the family, they're moving into a new build, so it's looking great for them. They're looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But... So Wednesday, so she went on Wednesday morning. Mm-hmm. So I'm prepping for the show as I do all week anyway, but the sort of last minute preparations. Then Barney, who was supposed to be this week's guest, he turns around and says to me, sorry, but I can't do it. I've got a meeting later on. I'm really, really sorry. And I thought, okay, we'll just carry on. We'll carry on. And then about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, like I'm just about to sort of, well, I'm still actually got a fair bit to do, but I'm slowing down a little bit. And then I get the message that AJ can't make it either. So that was abandoned. The show was abandoned, and we've obviously, well, people don't know, but we've recorded on the Friday night.
Rather than the Wednesday.
Which has been good, really, because a lot of the fixtures have come out today, which has helped the show a little bit.
You can see why I put it off.
Yeah. So anyway, I sent a message to Rowena, and I said, listen, you won't believe it, but Barney dumped me and now AJ's dumped me. I said...
So, I put you on hold.
So anyway, she rang me up and she said, the little shits, get yourself off to the Becca. Get yourself off to the Becca. so with no further ado, like, I thought, it's getting a bit late now. Like, so I decided to go to the Mecca last minute.
Okay.
And I won £250.
Attaboy.
I should have won 500, but somebody decided to shout with me, which was a little bit unfortunate.
Bollocks. Well, can't have them all.
So, Mrs. Hughes is really, really happy now because she's £125 better off.
Right.
Than she was before. Well, minus what it cost us, £17 each, I think.
Jeez.
So yeah, it was a good night out.
That sounds like a great night out, actually.
I enjoyed it. And then, of course, between that, we're sandwiched either side of that. Training on Tuesday and training last night.
Carnage.
Which has gone well, but we've got a few people that are away on holiday, so
that happens.
A little bit difficult, but really, really good coaching sessions. So probably good. Listen, we'll go more deeper into it later, but we obviously got to mention the obvious that Andy Barlow. Did we mention it on the last year? We did, didn't we? Andy Barlow had left. Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
we did. Yeah. But what we didn't know at the time is that we were we brought Barney in as interim manager.
Yep.
So we'll talk about that later on in the show when we talk about
probably got
the weekend that we had, which was a fantastic festival of football.
Yeah.
And we'll mention that and how much it raised for charity as well. Apart from that,
I think we probably swan dive into the show, to be honest, given that we're starting to eke towards it now, really, aren't we?
Yeah, I think so. Unless you can think of anything else.
Well, no, we've killed all the drivers and the cyclists. You're going to watch Wallace and Gromit. We're both going to watch the wacky races. We still have to go to the Mecca Bingo, and it's really hot.
The only thing I mentioned, and I mentioned it before, was the smog.
And the smog.
I'd like somebody to explain what happened last night, because I've come away from training. It's cooled down. I've noticed it's visibly cooled down, which it was a really hot day, and then it really, really cooled down, became really overcast, but nice cool breeze, and I think it dropped down to about 17 degrees from 27 during the day, something like that. So anyway, I've gone down to Craig's to pass over the kit. We're standing outside, and he's looking over to one side, and he said, well, yeah, there's a fire over there. And he thought it was Brookfield Park that was on fire. And I said, I don't know, it doesn't look like a fire to me. But anyway, I'm driving off, and then all of a sudden it was like a nuclear holocaust. It was like everything there was a sheet, a blanket of mist everywhere. It was quite eerie and daunting. And so, it was still warm in the house because it's like a kiln. So the house had generated heat, so I had to keep my windows open. So all night I was coughing my guts up. All this morning, coughing my guts up. So there's something really bad in the atmosphere. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it is smog. I'd like a weatherman or weatherwoman to explain what it was. Have you got any ideas? Did you see it?
No. I actually didn't know. No.
So I couldn't see a thing. So from this house here, I could only just see beyond the hedge across the road, and then the rest of it was mist. Yeah, and it just literally...
That's a bit terrifying, isn't it?
Yeah, I couldn't even see the lights on top of Barbold Hill. Normally you can see the lights on top of Barbold. Nothing at all. It was just like... Oh, you know when you're on a Teams meeting and you can blur the background out.
Yeah.
It was just, there's no visual, you can't see anything at all. It was
nuts,
really,
that.
really eerie. But because I was coughing all, and I know the pollen count, and I suffered with hay fever, so I know that the pollen count was extremely high, as it is today. And I'm just wondering whether it'll go similar tonight. But I haven't seen that for a long time. And it was like that this morning. So when you woke up this morning, you would have noticed that there would have been still.
Yeah, it was a bit grey when I woke up this morning.
Yeah.
No, I think I woke up about 5 o'clock or something like that. So it wasn't. Yeah, it was kind of a bit of an ideal time to catch the tail end of it, if you like, before this great, enormous, burning burden that we've got going on right now that I'm not appreciating.
Did you watch the any of the World Cup at all?
I'm not into it at the minute.
No, I found it very, very difficult, but I stayed up the other night to watch the England game.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course.
Did you watch it?
No.
No.
I don't support England.
So, you're Welsh, aren't you?
When it comes to the sport, I am Wales. Yeah.
Wales.
It's because my granddad...
You're a Yorkshireman.
Yeah, my granddad got to me for sport influence before anybody else did. So he was born in Wales. He was born in Swansea.
So is it the Four Nations this weekend as well? Is it or something like that? The rugby.
Yeah, it is. It's the Nations Cup. So Wales. We played Fiji in the rugby last weekend and we won. And then this weekend we got Argentina.
Argentina. Yeah. So I watched the game. I stayed up. And then, of course, they went and delayed it by an hour, didn't they? Because they were expecting some big... Well,
they were expecting a little bit of weather.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the tennis has been on as well. I don't know. Have you been following that at all?
No, I've not been following it at all until I noticed come up on my news feed that what's his name?
Arthur Ferry.
Arthur Ferry had got into the final.
No. Semi-final, yeah. Well, he played the semi-final this afternoon. He was beaten in straight sets by Alexander Zverev of Germany. Yeah, but do you know what? He's the first wild card to make it to the semi-finals since 2001, and he's the first male British player to make it to the semi-finals since Murray in 2016, I think it was.
Who was the first ever to do it? Was it Boris Becker?
Boris Becker was the first wild card to win Wimbledon, and he won it at the age of 17. Arthur Ferry's 23, and he was ranked like 140 in the world. He'll go up to it into the top 40 after this.
Am I allowed to say he's French?
No. What? What?
He was born in France.
Arthur Ferry was born in France?
Born in France.
Oh, for Christ's sake. Right, well... British is British. Sure.
Well, I believe he came over to England when he was a month old.
Oh, right, well, he's fine then. He's basically English.
Yeah.
Yeah, 22 years and 11 months living on this country, that'll be fine. He's English.
I don't know.
Away from him.
I always, I'm not so much now, I think, because we expect it more now, but I think if you look back in time, Greg Rosetsky
was Canadian.
You look at the heavyweight champion of the world, what's his name, the fellow with the dreadlocks, what's his name? Lennox Lewis,
yeah.
I think he was born in Canada, wasn't he, as well?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. And then when we won the Wimbledon, won the Wimbledon, it was a Scottish bloke.
It was a Scotsman, yeah.
Yeah. Listen, but I'm Irish anyway, so it doesn't really
matter.
Oh,
for the love of God. Start the show.
We're 53%
Start the
Irish.
show.
Okay, if you insist.
Start the show.
Hello and welcome to the Speaking Frankly Football Show. I'm Frank Hughes, the chairman of Stalybridge United Football Club, and alongside me is my co-host and passionate press officer, AJ the Jet. Not that being involved with the football club is a prerequisite for hosting a football podcast, but it certainly helps. We are ready to dive headfirst into the vibrant world of non-league football in the Northwest, and we might even take a moment to discuss some of the bigger headlines in the sport. We'll explore life in the Northwest counties, bring you interviews with well-known faces in the league, and analyse how local teams are performing while making bold predictions for their upcoming matches. Nothing is off the limits here. We'll be diving into all kinds of topics, including complicated refereeing decisions and regulations that often leave fans perplexed. We want to hear from you too. This is your show, so don't hesitate to reach out with topics you want us to tackle. Let's get this conversation started and enjoy every single moment. We are speaking frankly. Hello and welcome to the Speaking Frankly Football Show. This is Series 3, Episode 2, and a very warm welcome to my co-host, AJ Vegette.
It's a too warm a welcome, Frank. It's roasting here, I'm not comfortable. But nonetheless, we are back again for another episode of another series of the show, and I'm thrilled with it. So, hello everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. The friendlies are starting to eke out a little bit here and there as pre-season is now well underway. So we'll be taking you through a few of the stories from the friendlies that have popped out, amongst the many that have happened. The fixture schedule for the FA Cup, FA Vase, and FA Trophy have all been allocated. So we'll take you through some of the standout fixtures as well as some of the big news stories that have come out of the world of non-league football in the Northwest around here. So just going to be the one show today. We've not got a guest. So there'll be no real need to break this up into 14 different parts. So we'll start with Frank. What's there to say?
Yeah, well, listen. First of all, before we go any further, it was our first show last week, our return from our summer break, and I'd just like to thank our listeners really because we've had over 3,000 listeners in the last week, which is really impressive.
Really?
Yeah, I was gobsmacked myself.
That's really cool.
Yeah, for the first week, I think it's brilliant.
So is that 3,000 listeners for that one episode that we did?
Mainly, but there's obviously other shows that people sort of backtrack on. But in terms of listeners in a complete week, I think it's something like 5,000 over around about 4,000 over the last month.
Oh, that's smashing! I wonder where the influx has come from.
Yeah, I think they just realised how daft it is, and they like a bit of daft.
Honestly,
yeah,
I still
like us mucking it up and messing it about.
I still can't get over the fact that people actually listen to it.
Yeah.
I mean, we got people we talked to people at the weekend when we were at the football festival, and they were saying that they listened to the show. I'm like, what? Really?
I know, yeah.
Still throws me.
But that's why we do it, because
people listen.
Well, I felt as though there was something missing in the market. I've said that before, since Radio Lancashire used to do a non-league hour.
Yeah.
Many moons ago, and I really found it interesting. It was more sort of magazine-esque in terms of there's a bit of everything in it.
Yeah.
Interviews, albeit with no interviews last week or this week, but it doesn't matter because next week, hopefully, we will have the return of the non-league quiz of the week.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to that. So listen, we'll focus on the Northwest counties a little bit. There's not a great deal of news, but I think we'll probably focus on one or two clubs. We'll start with a few friendlies that have sprung up. So Widnes FC, or Widnes Town FC as they're known now, won their first ever game as they beat Stockport Georgians 4-1 with former Skem player Josh Qualler scoring a brace. And Flixton lost their opening game at home 5-3 to Radcliffe in front of a really sizable crowd. But when I asked what the crowd was, nobody replied and told me. So I don't know what the crowd was, but somebody said it was sizable. So I have to believe it is.
Well, we hope that their match day secretary will not just put sizable when submitting his details to the FA.
Yeah, so Lower Breck, they beat Wythenshawe Town 2-1 during the midweek, but they've just reported today, I think it was, that their keeper Theo Roberts has officially hung up his gloves after just under 200 appearances for the club. So best of luck to Theo in his retirement. I don't know whether we've looked at the fixtures haven't come out for the Northern Premier League
not yet,
have they? No, because they've got to wait on the step 2 and 3 before they get.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So listen, I'm talking about Wythenshawe. They'll be playing in the. No, sorry, that's a lie. I'm talking about Runcorn Town now. I know it's they're no longer Northwest Counties, but obviously promoted last season, and they've been laterally moved over to the Midland Division. They won both their opening games, pre-season friendlies. They beat Helsby 4-0 at the weekend and beat Rainhill Town 1-0 during midweek. Both were away fixtures. They start life in the Midland League with a home game against Lye Town on Saturday, the 1st of August, followed by a really tough away fixture to West Didsbury and Chiltern. I'm going to put these teeth in properly so I can speak. As we would know very well, they laterally moved from the North West Counties last season. So, interesting one for them.
Oh, very interesting starts. Yeah, absolutely. So, Runcorn kind of carrying on where I think they left off last season. Two really positive games that they've won with a clean sheet to match in both of them. Lye Town, don't really know much about them, but it's the Midland League, so any game is going to be a tough one. At that level, we hope it's not going to be too much of a baptism of fire for Runcorn Town. They'll find their feet as well as previous teams that have been laterally moved over have done. So Abbeyhalton United and Winsford Town both went up the end of the season before last. Both flourished within the Midland League, hoping very much it's the same for Runcorn Town.
I'm looking at them two teams, West Didsbury and Chiltern. Fell short last season, didn't they, in the North West Counties? Yeah,
they did. So West Didsbury and Chiltern, who believe finished 8th or 9th last season, for a team who we thought at the time were going to maybe go a step better than they did the season before last when they made the playoffs. Wasn't to be, and they've now had to undergo a little bit of a rebuild with the lateral movement, meaning that a lot of their players won't be able to commit to the long travels over to the Midlands. So
we don't really know what they're going to do in that league, do we?
No, we haven't got a clue.
I think it'll be a good test, seeing them two play.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, it'll give us an indication of whether Runcorn have kept them levels up, them high standards from last season,
yep.
And whether this West Didsbury and Chiltern, who've got a really good fan base.
An enormous
a big student fan base, dare I say.
Yeah, they do. The Step Places Stadium frequently packs out between 400 and 800 fans every single game, so they have an enormous following. Be interesting to see how many of them will be able to follow them down into the Midlands League and around the grounds in Wolverhampton, Birmingham, Stoke, places like that. It will be a bit of a difficult mooch for them.
Yeah. Moving on to Burscough. So Burscough being busy again, adding to an already sizable squad with the addition of Dan Mahaffey. Dan is described as a player they believe is one of the hottest young prospects at this level. Dan has all the attributes to become a real fan's favourite, according to them. Burscough's opening fixtures have been released. They host Prestwich Hayes on the 1st of August, and then they're away to FC St Helens on the Tuesday night. So a really difficult start for them to that season.
Not easy, no. But if you're Staffo, you're going to want them to hit the ground running and kind of stamp their authority on a league where they are, favourites to, be right up there within the playoff mix by season's end. And I know that they won't thank me for saying that one, but I have to.
You've got to be careful of
I have to put my analytical hat on.
Staffo had a good word with me over the weekend and said, "Hey, just calm it down a little bit.
He did.
We've got work to be doing."
Yes, he did.
And I listen, I understand that it makes the job even more difficult when
of course it does.
You start touting them as potential champions.
But somebody's got to win it, haven't they?
Yeah, most definitely. So listen, Chatterton, another team that we expect to do better, didn't do particularly as well as we thought they should have done last season.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was... Chatterton have had this, for a little while. Season before last, they were absolutely flying at the top of the league, and then they faded away a little bit and didn't even make the playoffs last season. Season before last. Last season, they did make the playoffs, and fell short in the final. They were beaten by Padiham on penalties, if I remember rightly. It's been a bit of a rebuild job for them. They have signed Edson Cara from Cheadle Town.
So it's Carter.
Carter.
Yeah, Carter. CATA.
Carter.
Yeah.
You're
Sorry, it's
you're
just a little spelling mistake.
Anyway, but they travel to Charnock Richard for their first game of the league campaign, and then play Abbey Hay in their first game in the next fixture. It'll be really interesting to see just how much this rebuild affects them. They've lost the goals of Lewis Byrne and Benito Lowe, but they are hopeful very much that won't affect them too much, and that they can go another step further and make it all the way into the Northern Prem West.
Yeah, because I don't remember. I mean, listen, I'd have to look at my paperwork, but I don't know who our predictions were for the championship.
I mean, didn't we sort of do this last week?
We did it last week, but I'm just trying to remember what I said now. Because listen, I've got it. It's back here. It's right in front of me. Don't worry. Yeah, it's interesting, that one.
Where have you put them in your top 5?
I'm just looking now because I can only find the north and south. I'm sure the other one's somewhere. Yes, I've got it. Yeah. Oh well, listen, this is raises. I think let's get on with it a little bit, and then I'll ask the question in a minute.
Very well.
So Rob Henry, the new manager, has introduced a number of new recruits to the Ramsbottom United.
There it is, Ramsbottom. Yeah.
Yeah. What did I say?
You didn't.
Didn't I?
Yep.
We're talking about Ramsbottom.
We are now.
All right. Oh, are we?
Yeah, we are.
Oh yeah, we are. Okay, so they lost their place 3 years ago in the Northern Premier League, and they tried to battle their way. Oh, they've tried to battle their way back ever since, and been really unfortunate in the last 3 playoffs. The club has welcomed several players to the Harry Williams Riverside Stadium with a mix of young talent along with more experienced players. So if you want to run through one or two of these with me, you can.
Absolutely. So in goal, they've signed Rhys Truman, keeper from Vauxhall Motors. He did begin life at Norwich City and then Liverpool under-23s. Rhys is very young, 21 years of age. So this will be a great little test for him.
Is he going to be their first team choice?
Possibly, yeah. I can't remember who their goalkeeper was last season, but I'm sure Rhys will stake a claim for his selection in between the sticks. Then we've got Joe Blanchard, centre back from Lancaster City, having previously played at Preston North End, Skem and Burscough. Lewis Coulton, a centre back as well, played for Scotland up to under 19 level, has previously played at Preston North End, Chester, FC United of Manchester, Bamber Bridge and Lancaster City as well. Harry Winstanley returns to the club he played for during the 24-25 season. He played 18 times before a nasty injury curtailed his progress, but now he's back for the Rams. Rhys McBride is a left-sided defender making the move after being released by Oldham Athletic. Rowan Chambers signs from Squires Gate, where he has the distinction of being the club's youngest ever captain, so he'll be staking a claim in the middle of the park for the Rams. Isaac Lamb, an attacking midfielder, 18 years old, who came through the ranks at Preston North End as well. And Gareth Hill, signed for Barnoldswick Town, scored 32 goals last season, whilst Barnoldswick flirted with relegation very briefly. He made 253 appearances for Barlick and scored 108 goals. So an excellent signing for him up front, after a couple of the club's main strike forces left for pastures new last season, including Harvey White and Harvey Hayhurst. So Gareth Hill in there to fill that void. So
Ramy's pre-season run of games commenced last Saturday with a trip to West Lancashire League side Hesketh Bank. After going in the break 1 goal down, a much changed 11 to the field in the second half, which they totally dominated, eventually running out 5-2 winners. The recruitment appears to be good on the face of things, but does it change your opinion, or does it change my opinion about where they're going to finish? Because when looking at our predictions last week, we've not even got Chadderton or I've got Ramsbottom there, but you've not got Chadderton or Ramsbottom in your top 5.
I don't know how Chadderton are going to bridge the gap that the goals were supplied from last season. That's 80 odd goals that they've got to sort of claw back here. That's not easy by any stretch of the imagination. So I'm not seeing it happen at the minute, but obviously season hasn't really started yet. As for Ramy, they've left it really late to announce all their signings. They've kind of stuck to the status quo of actually announcing
I think that's good management there.
Yeah, exactly. They've stuck to the status quo of actually doing it after they've been allowed to and after the paperwork can be submitted. Now that they've signed the players that they have done, it's a big turnover, isn't it? I know that there are some who are staying, who we know of, sort of club captain Maka Wilson. He is now staying as well. He's a veteran. He's played an awful lot of games in the blue. He's staying on, but I don't know. One game against Hesketh Bank doesn't really tell us an awful lot.
No.
I think Rob.
The friendlies, by and large, don't really, do they?
No, it just kind of gives you minutes in the tank, and that's
Listen,
it.
could I just mention at this moment, by the way, because I keep making the appeals on the Speaking Frankly Twitter page. If you want any of your friendlies advertised on the podcast, just pop us a message and let us know so we can feature it on. It's very, very hard to navigate all the teams and find out where they're playing. We've done our best with a few, which we'll come to at the end of the show. But yeah, please let us know, because we're really interested in the pre-season friendlies as much as we are when the season starts.
It costs you £50 though.
Yeah, it's just a simple £50. Yeah.
Anyway, Rami will open up their season with an away game at Litherland Remica, who of course are in this division courtesy of a
reprieve.
Little bit of a fortunate reprieve. And then they have a home game against newcomers Trafford, who were relegated themselves from the Northern Premier League West.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a difficult season for them overall. There's a few changes there. I'd like to see what they've blended it with and what they've retained. But I think I know they said a blend of experience with a lot of youth there, and I think there's probably a little bit too much youth there. Whether they're going to be first team, selection for the first team, starting 11, I don't know, or whether they're just going to make the numbers up in the squad. But listen, best of luck to Ramsbottom. Moving on to Darwin. Darwin have extended Bruno Severino's contract to another year. Bruno played a few games for Skem once upon a time, believe it or not, and allegedly their top earner, and we're not going to mention figures, but yeah, it seems that he's stopped for another year anyway.
Staying in for another year, absolutely. Darwin, one of those teams we expect to be in the fight for playoff and promotion contention this year. Very well run club, a beautiful stadium, probably one of the best I've ever seen. And
they're in your top 5 in a playoff position.
And there you go. Not in yours though, are they?
No, they're not in mine.
Interesting. Anyway, their opening fixture of the season has been confirmed. They host playoff finalists Bootle in their opening game, and then will be
They can't be away to Darwin, can they, surely?
Who are they actually away to?
Shoot the shoot the
messenger.
Writer. Yeah. Oh crikey, I don't know. Go on, listen, talk amongst ourselves. Go on.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I can't remember now.
Oh, good. Right,
well, it doesn't matter. Listen, I'll talk about Eccleshall when you're trying to find out who they're playing on the following Tuesday. So Liam Kelly has left the club by mutual consent. Just 3 weeks until the season starts. Liam took the club to runners-up spot in Division 1 South last season and sadly lost out on penalties in the final of the playoffs to Stockport Georgians. Eccleshall will have a spicy opening game as they host newcomers Widnes Town, followed by a visit to Old Scott Heath in the midweek. They've announced an interim management team while they look for a permanent successor. Now, can't say a great deal about why Liam has left, but if you read between the lines and one or two of the posts that he's put up in the last sort of 48 hours, there seems to have been a fallout somewhere. Listen, it's not fair for us to speculate, but they've lost a good one.
Yeah, they have. So Liam's time at the club was inundated with success. Back-to-back playoffs, and this one ended in him just falling short of the promised land, unfortunately. But what an excellent period of time he's had at Eccleshall, and I'm sure that his departure will have a huge effect on how this season goes for them. I think both of us were very, very confident that they were going to go places, sort of be back again in amongst the playoff contention. But whether they'll do that now, Because Liam...
Darwin and away to Cone. So he got there at the end. So Darwin can't play themselves, so they're playing Cone anyway.
Fine.
Yeah, so like I say, new interim team has taken over there until they find a permanent successor. 3 weeks to go before the season starts. Not good, is it?
No, it's not great. And yeah, as I say, it really does leave you wondering about how Eccleshall are going to manage. Who's going to come in as the manager? Will Liam Kelly go anywhere else? Will the players stick around? There's all sorts of questions kind of being up in the air at Eccleshall at the minute, and none necessarily for the greater benefit. So. It just remains to be seen. Really, we of course wish Liam well wherever he goes if he decides to step back into management. But what an amazing time he's had and legacy he leaves.
Yeah, most definitely. All the very best, Liam. Listen, just wanted to mention the opening day fixtures for the North West counties. Other teams. So Droylsden, who are making their bow in the Premier Division, they're home to AFC Liverpool on their opening game. Trafford are playing Longridge Town as they return back to the North West counties. Really interesting ties. FC St Helens, they take the trip to FC Isle of Man on the opening day of the season. So
Fabulous.
1st of August in the sun. I'd be taking a week away if that was me.
Reasonable.
Yeah, I'd love that. That'd be great. Looking at the only thing that I've not sort of secured here is when Flixton play their opening game.
Interesting.
Yeah, because they don't play on the Saturday according to this. I don't know. I'm trying to work it out.
Well, they're in Division 1 North, aren't they?
Flixton?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were in South.
Flixton
Oh, no, sorry. So who's in South?
Widnes,
yeah. I'll take a notice of me. Oh, I'm an idiot at times. But anyway, so yeah, Flixton, they're away to Squires Gate in their opening game. And their first game at home will be... Just checking now. Flixton will be at home to Camelard in their first game back in Division 1 North. Yeah? Okay, so that concludes that for now. Listen, we'll move on to the National League North. Marine, they've signed the highly rated midfielder Ben Darby, 22 years of age, from Curzon Ashton. In the build-up, they've also signed Isaac Amankwa, defender, and Colin McElhenney, a forward. Over 500 season tickets have so far been sold. Absolutely amazing. They've also raised over 15k towards their player budget as well. Incredible start for anybody to raise that kind of money.
That's insane, that one, yeah. But that's something that they regularly do, put it to the local community to raise money towards a player budget. I think it was 30,000 it ended up being last season.
Yeah, so it's short at this moment,
well, so far that doesn't suggest that they're going to have a difficult season. They did sort of look at the top 10 as being a realistic prospect at one point in the season, and I feel like this kind of unity under Bobby Grant may very well serve them in good stead.
Yeah, because they started off a little bit rocky. They had a decent sort of finish to the season, and of course got to the semi-final of the FA Trophy as well. So listen, Marine's opening game of the season will see them host Macclesfield. You couldn't get any tougher than that. But then you follow up that the following week they've got a long journey to Hereford.
Ooh, that's a bit of a mooch, that one, isn't it?
Absolutely tough start for them.
Yeah, of course it is. I mean, there are no easy games in the National League North, and Marine will tell you that for no uncertain terms. I think navigating Macclesfield and then Hereford, two sort of Football League giants in their heyday, if you like, maybe a bit of a key indicator of just how far they've come.
Yeah, most definitely. So, Marine Football Club have today confirmed that Peter McCormick formally stepped down from the role as director during their recent annual general meeting. Peter's departure marks the end of an incredible 46 years of continuous service to the football club. So quite remarkable, and as such deserves a mention. Good luck to him for the future. Incredible, 46 years at a non-league football club.
46 years at a non-league football club. He is like Rowley Howard, but just in the stands, isn't he? Absolutely amazing that. Is he retiring, or is he just? I mean, do we know what he's doing?
Oh, actually, listen, he probably just watched the games now, won't he, without the stress.
The stress of being involved in them, yeah. Because being part of a non-league club as a director is never ever easy.
No,
and I think he's a heck of a legacy to leave with.
Yeah, brilliant. Good luck to him, like we said.
Yeah, very much so.
So moving on to Southport, there doesn't appear to be a great deal of action signing-wise, and if you go on their forum, well, listeners mentioned that a lot of players have been retained.
Good.
They've added Harry Pettit, is it?
Sure.
From Alfreton Town. Pettit was a former professional at Accrington Stanley. Is no stranger to Southport at all, having gone out on loan for a month 5 years ago. Described as a versatile defender who will no doubt add strength to Southport's defence, where they were a little bit dodgy last season.
The Southport defence.
The early doors.
Early doors, yeah, it was. And I think Neil Dance had to work quite a lot to shore it up a little bit. But once it was shored up, it was really good, wasn't it? Because then they made the FA semis?
They made the semi-final of the FA Trophy. As did Marine. Like I said, they had a really tough start, but they finished 14th in the end. Yeah,
absolutely. I think they would have finished higher, if Dan didn't have to kind of negotiate all the difficulties that he did.
Well, I think when he started out, it was amidst a sort of protracted takeover as well. And
it was.
The club was struggling at the bottom of the table.
Yeah.
At one stage.
Yeah.
But some, decent signings. He managed to gradually turn things around, and like I say, culminated in semi-final where they suddenly lost to Southend 3-1, but no disgrace there.
No, not at all. Southend are an enormous club, and to do what Dan's has done in the time that he has done, that was I think that's really creditable, and I think this season they'll finish better than 14th, no doubt about that one at all. And I think with a few astute signings, as he said, they've signed Harry Petit in there, so a few more, and I think they'll be they'll be right on it for a good top 10 finish at least.
So joint owners David Cunningham and Kieran Malone have done an exceptionally good job since they took over. They've reached out to the community. The gates have gone up marginally, and things appear to be going in the right direction. I think the overall gates increased by around about 2,000 or so on the season.
My
so a big
God,
hike up in it.
That's great, Joe.
Yeah,
that's a great pull.
Southport's opening game of the season will be away to the newcomers Hebburn Town.
Oh yeah, they were promoted from Northern Premier at the end of last season.
Yeah, and their first home game will be against Buxton, so it's a mixed start, tough start really. I think all starts are tough, aren't they? Because you start to gauge what you're capable of doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
The first 4 or 5 games, I think you get to know. You get to know more. Would you say 4, 5, 6, 7 games?
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say you can't really tell anything from friendlies, really. Not until you've kind of established your starting 11 and your starting squad and the established tactics.
Well, what are we looking at? If you look at we always talk about the first 5 games being really, really important. I don't think it sort of determines what your season is going to be like, but it gives you some kind of context, proportion. I think we look at it from our perspective and say if we win our first 5 games, then crowds.
We're on a great,
crowds go up, but then it depends who you start playing in the first few games. Buxton are not going to roll over for.
Of course they're not.
For Southport, and Hebburn an unknown quantity.
Yeah, and they could be really up for the fight to kind of say, well, we belong here.
But it's exciting, isn't it?
Oh, very exciting.
Yeah. So, Northern Premier League, Bury's manager Anthony Johnson has described their latest signing, Leo Graham, as a major coup for the club. Following a successful loan spell last season, Graham has put pen to paper on a permanent 2-year deal. Formerly of Wigan Athletic, Graham has proved to be such a popular player amongst the supporters. He also picked up the club's young player of the season. And he went on to say, AJ?
So after it was confirmed that Graham had signed for Bury, he said, "It's a surreal feeling. I'm delighted. I can't really put it into words. It hasn't sank in yet. I feel like this is the best place for me to continue my development. It's a very special place for me. The fans, the staff, the players. It's all quite a surreal experience, to be honest. I came here as a boy and left as a man. The club has taught me so much about how much 3 points means playing for the badge, and it's a special place, and I'm delighted to be back here."
You like to listen to that, don't you? That kind of feedback from a player, yeah.
Yeah.
Some players just come into a football club and say absolutely nothing at all, do they?
Yeah, I'm delighted to be here. I can't wait to win trophies, and that's it.
But I think he's obviously popular amongst the fans, and I think when you feel loved, you want to express that love back in return, don't you?
Yeah.
So listen, Bury have announced a landmark new commercial partnership with Salford Van and Car Hire, who become the club's official stadium naming rights principal partner. That's a mouthful, ahead of the 26-27 season. Their pre-season has gone well so far. They beat Tottington United 3-0 last Friday and followed that up with a 5-3 win at Bake-Up on Tuesday night. Both games were played away from home. Bury's fixtures haven't been released at all yet, but what are we expecting from Bury this season?
In the Northern Premier?
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
I think every time they haven't exactly steamrolled any of it, really, have they?
But actually, Johnson's got that experience, hasn't he, of taking the likes of Salford through the
and Radcliffe
the gears.
Yeah, of course. But I think the signing of Graham is probably a bit of a, as you say, it's a coup on the pitch and off of it as well. It shows that Bury is still an enormous pull for where it is. And for the kind of ambition that they're trying to push for. I think they'll certainly be in the top half of the table. Whether they make it to the playoffs, I do not know.
No.
I think there are other teams around them that are probably going to sort of beat them to the title. I think so the ones that kind of jump out are the ones that were really close to it last season. So I think you look at Vauxhall Motors, you're looking at who was the other one? It wasn't not Vauxhall.
Well, you look at the teams. There's some incredible teams there, isn't there? Ashton United, which fell a little bit short. You've got FC United, who we're knocking on the door.
Yeah.
Workington, always listen, they struggled, didn't they?
They did struggle.
Warrington Town could be up there, you never know. Lancaster, Hyde, they might have reinvented themselves since Cleggy's stayed on, hasn't he?
Yes.
And Avro, the other newcomers to the league as well.
Oh yeah, of course they went up in the
playoffs,
in the Northern Premier Division 1, didn't they?
Yeah, and of course you've got Alfreton Town as well, haven't you? An unknown.
God, yeah, I've been thinking about Northern Premier West, and it's Northern Premier that we're looking at here.
So listen, the Northern Premier League, the promoted teams are Avro, Bury, and Emley and Redcar Athletic. The ones that have come down are Alfreton Town and Cares and Ashton. So they could they could play a big part in that. Laterally moved teams, Quorn. Looking at that, it's a healthy.
Yeah, for me, I would love Warrington Rylands to get there. I think they made such an impression last season. They weren't, with the greatest of respect to them. Did anyone really expect them to be there, other than themselves?
No,
exactly. You'd kind of look at, sort of. I don't want to say bigger teams, but bigger names, if you like. But Warrington Rylands came out of absolute nowhere, and I loved that, and I really want them to do well again this time around. So I'm rooting for the Rylands this season, just a little bit.
Yeah, is there any others amongst that stand out?
Yeah, there's something you can never really rule out. So Gainsborough Trinity were one of those that we thought would do reasonably well, and indeed they did. I think there was just some inconsistency here and there that they encountered. Who was the other ones that we were looking at as well?
So hot,
Warrington Town even.
It's
Even
so
Warrington
hot in here. Sorry,
Yeah, it is.
it's really, really hot.
Yeah, it is.
Unbelievably hot.
But yeah, I think the Warrington clubs could both do bits. FC United, of course, and Gainsborough Trinity, I think, will be up there as well. And I won't rule out Bury. I think Bury could, if they get the start that Jono is expecting from them, that could turn into a serious run.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Interesting one anyway.
I'm with you.
So where were we? We're looking at the North West Counties West, the Northern Premier League West, Bootle. Bootle's ground improvements of gathering pace. Their old hybrid pitch has been dug up, and the hard core and the template for the 3G pitch is also being.
It's in the process of being laid.
In the process of being laid.
Mm.
On the pitch last season, they just missed out on the playoffs. We managed to watch them towards the end of the season up at Clitheroe, and they played really well.
They did.
Well drilled, organised team.
They absolutely did.
They look as though they managed to retain most of last season's squad and added a little bit of quality as well. So midfielder Lewis Doyle has signed from Runcorn Linnets.
Yeah.
Ethan Devon and Bailey Passant have also put pen to paper. So listen, what do we expect with them? Because listen, I'll highlight the teams that were promoted first of all. So 1874 Northwich, Hanley Town, Padiham and Wythenshawe all promoted. Lichfield had been laterally moved. And Prescott Cables were one of the relegated teams from the Northern Premier Division. So what are we thinking? Is it going to be a tough season for Bootle, or could it be Bootle's season?
So I want it to be Bootle's season. Like, we watched them against Clitheroe and they were clinical. They were so well drilled. They controlled so much of that game that I think that they could really do bits. And I think they could take that one step further, particularly when you've said, as they've retained most of the squad with just a little bit of additions here and there. So I think Bootle are in with a shout of the playoffs at the very least.
And Lower Breck, of course.
Lower Breck's.
They never cease to amaze you, really.
Well,
do
no,
they?
absolutely.
You know what I mean? They could do the business.
Yeah, I think they are going to need a little bit more in the squad to just see them over the line. They had not an ageing squad, but a squad that had been together for a long period of time that was perhaps in need of a bit of a freshen up. I'm sure Gary will be looking at that one and addressing it where necessary. I think they could make the playoffs again. It really depends on how much of a freshen up Gary's in.
Oh, bless you.
Thank you.
What he tends to do is he tends to keep his cards very, very close to his chest, which I like, really. He doesn't give an awful lot away.
No, he doesn't. No.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he's made a couple of astute signings and, you just hope that... I certainly hope that the Liverpool teams do particularly well.
Of course. There's Lower Breck, there's Runcorn Linnets, Vauxhall Motors. Those are the local teams, if you like. So we always sort of root for them a little bit more. And then, of course, Clitheroe as well. So Clitheroe have had this could be quite a difficult season for Clitheroe. They've signed a few players, but they've let go of quite a few as well. So obviously Veron Parney was one who went towards the end of last season. He signed for Bury. He's now on Twitter and other social medias asking for a club to come and get him. So tells you a lot. Leon Creech was one that would hope to have brought more impact, but he is now signed for Euxton Town. There's other players as well that have decided to leave the behind.
Clitheroe are struggling financially, don't they?
Yeah, we do. Even though they have really good gates, a lot of sponsorship in place.
But we've seen it towards the end of the season when there's nothing to play for. The crowds went down considerably, didn't they? I think it was a little bit over 300 when we went there, wasn't it?
About 300.
They were averaging about 600 were they before that?
320 and odd, yeah.
They need to get off to a really good start, don't they, so that them gates can...
just continue.
Yeah, and then they can afford to maybe splash out a little bit. We just don't know what kind of budget they've got there, but we just look at the teams that did well last season, like the Stalybridge Celtic, Runcorn Linnets, Lower Breck, Vauxhall Motors, as you mentioned before. and maybe one or two teams that are sort of on the fringe there, Witten Albion and Nantwich, that could push on again this season. But I certainly think out of the promoted teams, I think Wythenshawe could shock one or two people, possibly Padiham as well.
Padiham, you'd kind of like to think so, because this is a whole new adventure for them, isn't it?
Their crowds are going to go. They were already getting decent crowds.
They were getting 300 plus.
I don't know what the average was, but it was significant, wasn't it?
It was one of the highest within the division, because I think we looked at it once. I think they were easily in the top 4.
I think you could throw another 100 on that if they start off well. And then you can start splashing all over the cash then again, can't you?
You could, yeah. And it's not like they are not without good players, although Freddie Matchell is one who won't be there this season. He is just signed for Burscough, so he won't be there. But you would hope that won't stop the rebuild going on at Padiham as they prepare for the great adventure in the Northern Prem. As for Wythenshawe, they've kind of been there and done it before, haven't they? So they're going to need to make sure that they aren't relegated again, but retain a lot of the quality that was there last season in large chunks. So you're kind of thinking of Dwyer and the other fella whose name I can't remember. They're 2 top scorers anyway. You would largely hope that if they can, as I say, retain a lot of the squad, I think they'll be all right, particularly with Kinsey as manager.
Yeah. So So Lower Breck, Clitheroe, Runcorn Linnets, Stalybridge Celtic, Vauxhall Motors. Yeah, out of them, I think it could be any one of those. Well, maybe not so much Clitheroe, but looking at.
I think there'd be a lot of those teams that we've just mentioned, kind of in and around there. So Bootle, Breck, Linnets.
But not even count Prescott Cables, because Prescott Cables have come down. That's the thing, they're off to a flying start again, and the gates stay consistent. But yet again, we're talking about clubs that literally are defined by what their gates are, aren't they? Clitheroe, Prescott Cables. If the gates are not right, they're not doing it on the pitch, are they?
No, they're not. No,
they can't afford it. They're not big clubs.
No. And it was a really difficult time for the Cables and Steve Daly. In that slide that almost seemed unstoppable, despite wanting to do everything he could. To keep them up. They fell short, they were relegated, but it's been highlighted that teams who've been relegated don't tend to bounce straight back up. Obviously Wythenshawe the last season were the exception, but I think that Cable's business off the pitch is really going to define how they go on this season and how their opening gate is for the season.
Well, we talk about speculation, don't we? And that's what.
It's all we can do at the minute.
Well, no, even from a football club's perspective, is when they're looking at what their finances are going to be, they speculate an awful lot on cup income as well as gate revenue, and if it doesn't quite pan out the way they want, one or two of these clubs need a really good run in the FA Cup or the FA Trophy, don't they? And then they might be able to kick on a little bit, and that helps sort of.
But could it be that is the only defining measure of their season, and in fact it curtails after that one? Because look at Clitheroe, they had an amazing run in the FA Trophy, and then when they were knocked out by Scunthorpe, it all went a little bit downhill for them, didn't it?
Tits up, didn't it, a little bit, yeah.
Well, that's one word of it.
Yeah. Anyway, listen, we'll move on to the Liverpool County Premier League. River suffered an hand-nil loss at the GMO on Tuesday night at the hands of Cheshire League Premier Division newcomers Skelmersdale Town, the club formerly known as Claybrow.
And Shirley FC.
Yeah, not really heard much about friendlies between other clubs. Once again, send that information out to anybody in the Liverpool County Prem if you want to advertise your games or fixtures, friendlies, otherwise on the show. Please drop us a line. We'll only charge £25.
Yeah,
but no,
because we're step 7.
Yeah, because we're step 7. Listen, we won't know until the 20th of July, by the way, as well.
Yeah, that happens.
20th of July before our fixtures come out.
Yeah, so it's a week.
So that's the league sort of secretaries meeting,
Yeah.
which I'll no doubt be attending. But listen, something sort of that dovetails with what we've just been talking about there, and finances and gates and all that. I wrote an article earlier on this week which begged the question: do clubs go into the wall entirely due to financial reasons, or are people, volunteers, players and managers walking away from the game due to the time you need to commit to it? What do you think? Well, yeah, let's give you an example. Work and particularly family commitments seem to play a big part in the decision making. The non-league landscape is getting bigger and bigger, but by the time players reach their late 20s or early 30s, the kids are grown up and they're playing football themselves. So is there a greater desire to watch your kids or continue, devote more of time to your family? At what point do you make the decision, well, I'm not getting paid a great deal of money, family comes first? And we know that when you're younger you chase the money, but you get to a point in life where you think, do I really need it? What do you think?
It's interesting that you asked me that question, because I have neither played football nor have I had children who play football. So I can't really answer that in any kind of definition. I can only really speculate. It would have been a good idea to have Barney on the show today, because he could have probably told us to a better description.
As a director of the football club, the level of commitment towards a club at step 7 is quite significant.
Yes, it is.
And even committing to something like any kind of committing to a podcast like we do every week during the season and sometimes during the close season like we're doing now, it takes up an awful lot of your time. Something's got to give. So we don't give all to family. We don't have the time to see people that we should spend time with. I'm particularly guilty of that, and it really, really plays on my mind. Sometimes I think if I walked away from this now, I could spend more time with the people that matter. I've had illnesses and people, people in nursing homes now that that are prematurely there, shouldn't be there at that age, and I should be spending more time. But trying to juggle everything, spin plates all the time. So imagine if from I think players now are walking away from football earlier, and I don't think it's just as much. I don't think it's just entirely now down to. So I think there's probably the pool of players is reducing. The non-league pyramid is increasing, so the National League system is increasing, and it will increase further at the end of next season if the FA have their way, because as we know, the idea is to increase the Step 6 from 17 leagues to 24. If they do that, that makes it tougher again. There's only a certain pool of players, and even at... So Step 7 is a struggle for a lot of teams. We've seen how teams have folded during the season because they've struggled to get people to play for them. I just think it's getting more and more difficult for people to commit to. I don't think it's all about finances. So we've looked at clubs that... Who's the latest club? Is it Borough Rangers that's been mentioned?
Yeah.
They've folded. How many teams did we see fold? Okay, Pilks, albeit they've not folded. They've dropped out of the Northwest Counties.
Who's the other one? Brighouse Town. They're another one that decided to drop away. #United. Albeit they took voluntary relegation, so it's not quite the same. There were at least 2 teams in our division that folded over the course of the season. FC King Harry and Daysbrook, they folded. Joey Oars have folded in the off season as well. So I think that the as you say, the non-league landscape is getting bigger, but I don't know whether the players are walking away early. I wouldn't necessarily say that.
Well, yeah, I'll give you another slant to it then. The demand on wages from players is incredible.
Yeah,
we've heard the stories about how much some players are getting paid.
Yes,
you know, including the top scorer that left Chadderton and went to Flixton. You know, if that's true, what he's getting, I'd love somebody to come back on that one and tell us whether it's true or not. But £600 seems to be absolutely vulgar at this level.
Yeah,
but that shows you the kind of pressure that it puts on football clubs to compete. But yeah, I do listen. I know because I'll tell you what. I spoke to one of the coaches from. Did we play at the weekend? We didn't play them actually, but they were in the festival of football. Euxton, one of the coaches there, and he said that, you know, at some stage you have to redefine or rethink what you're going to do as you enter your 30s to your 40s as well, even as a coach. And like I say, kids are growing up and they want to spend time watching the kids. They've given up their maybe 10, 15 years of their lives before they get to that stage, committed to football. And then, you know, the desire is always to go and watch your kids, isn't it? You want to watch your kids. It doesn't matter whether they turn out in acting, ballet or football, rugby, whatever it is, that it becomes a bigger desire and a pressure from the mother,
and
the wife.
An expectation as well, to a degree.
So if you can't command that kind of money, so for argument's sake, if you go to Padiham and you're a player that is, maybe, well, listen, let's put it this way, he can't commit fully to training and things like that because of work commitments. He wants an extra few pounds just to make sure that he doesn't. Maybe he's not working as much overtime. He has to cut his overtime down to play. If you offer him decent enough money, he's going to stay. If you don't, he's going to drop further down. And even then, if the commitment there is Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, long away trips on a Saturday and Tuesday night potentially. Is he going to be motivated by money, or is he going to be, motivated by the money that he's earning in his day job, because he's earning more there than he's going to earn in non-league football? So I do think that football has changed.
Yeah,
I think the desire, even by directors of football clubs. We just talked about Peter McCormick there and his 46 years service to.
Do you get that anymore?
Well, I don't think. I think you give up. It's such hard work.
Yeah, it is. It's an
absolute. It really is. So I think it's going to get. I think it's going to get a lot worse with the increase of Step 6. I really do. But listen, let's move on to Skelmersdale United Football Club. So last weekend's West Lancashire Charity Cup raised an amazing £1,767 for Derian House. Congratulations to Burscough Chairman Jake Hawkes, his wife Ash, and all the volunteers for helping out on such a wonderful festival of football. And it was fabulous. And thanks to the other participants as well, Burscough Richmond, and the eventual winners Euxton, who managed to beat Burscough. I think it was 3-0 on penalties.
Yes, it was.
It was a fabulous event to be involved in, albeit we lost both of our games, and we hope to be involved in it next season again.
That'd be nice.
It would really be nice.
Yeah, it would. It was a brilliant weekend.
Well, we sat on the terrace to watch the final, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
In the sun with a false. Well, you were drinking Guinness, and I was having a 0% old moat. Moat. Some say moat, some say moot, some say mout. Anyway, I had two of them. I might have even had three of them, you know. I was absolutely drunk, roaring drunk on 0% alcohol.
Carnage. I think there would have been 0.3% alcohol in your system at some point there, young man.
Well, it was nice to see Barney there, stay throughout the whole day. And quite a few of our players stopped by.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Stopped on to watch it as well.
Yeah, they did. A lot of them have now sort of come together and form like a little group. Yeah, so it was lovely to see about 6 or 7 of them just hanging around, watching, having a beer, and just talking to each other. That was great. That's exactly what you want from a football club.
And we've seen some old faces, of course, because Tom Smith was playing for
Euxton
at one stage. I think he came on in the second half.
No, he started.
Did he start?
Well, he started. I think he played the full 90, actually.
He played at left back, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
In a very unfamiliar role for him. I think he's normally
a winger.
He's played a number 10 or a winger. Really good player that used to play for Skem, and then of course Brandon Carrington, who didn't manage to feature in the final, but I think he took a knock on his knee.
Okay.
I think they would have won that in real time.
Had he come on?
Yes. Because he was absolutely fabulous against
Burscough
Richmond, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He commanded the second half, he changed the game for them.
Yeah,
Because I think they were 2-0 down at one stage, weren't they?
I'm not sure, actually. I think they may have been.
Yeah, I think Burscough Richmond were winning 2-0 and they managed to get back to, was it 3-2?
Maybe
4-2, something I can't remember
4-2,
anyway. But
yeah.
listen, for reference, our two defeats, we lost 8-0, or people saying 9-0, but I'm pretty sure it was 8-0 to Burscough. It doesn't really
a
matter.
full strength Burscough, it should be said.
Really full strength Burscough. Started out
Staffer,
with a
there was no need for that, as I've said.
No, it was nasty, wasn't it? And then of course we lost 3-1 to Burscough Richmond as well. Two contrasting games, really.
Two very contrasting
The
games.
first was we were at the hands of a well-drilled Burscough with a plethora of talent, as we mentioned.
It's ludicrous.
But that said, we operated a 3 at the back, and I don't think that helped us because we conceded 5 goals in the first half, giving us an absolute mountain to climb. The second half was a little bit much closer of fair, but the scoreline, I don't know whether it flattered the opposition.
No.
It probably didn't really, did it?
No, it didn't. That just tells you. It just tells you how good Burscough are on their day, and why they are in the position that they are, and what a transition that's been for them, bringing in Staffo and the ludicrous amount of talent that he as well has brought in too. So fair play to them. They were worthy winners in that game, whereas we had a few key personnel that weren't able to play for one reason or another, so we had to take a few emergency loan players from Burscough as well, just for the good positive run out, so that was quite difficult,
which we played much better against Burscough Richmond.
We did, by and large. Yeah, Burscough Richmond are in the West Cheshire equivalent of our league.
Very well established.
A very well established team.
Anthony Mercer's former Skem player, is the manager of them.
Yeah, they won the league 3 years ago, I think it was. Yeah, so they are not without their capabilities to perform, and so it showed. They
too many changes for us, though. Wasn't
too many changes and too many and two daft mistakes. Unfortunately, sort of became our undoing, if you like. And we did score a goal. It was a little fluky goal, but it was nice to kind of have that. But
just remind me who scored there.
The little fella in the midfield.
I think it was it Dimitri?
Yes, Dimitri.
Dimitri, yeah, cracking little player, by the way.
Yeah, very much so.
Some cracking players there.
Yeah,
I think the centre back that played for us as Wisdom.
Yeah.
Norman.
Brilliant player. Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Norman
Wisdom. No, Fortune, sorry.
Fortune, that's it.
Is it Fortune? Yeah.
Yeah, it's Fortune.
Yes.
Yeah, not Wisdom.
No. Sorry.
Anyway, yeah, he played for in the back four.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he was excellent. Really liked the look of him. Hope he stays with us this season. But yeah, there was just too many players that we just didn't have available.
In defence of Barney, I think Barney had to experiment a little bit.
Of course he did. Yeah, exactly. There was
I think he would have wanted to play Reece on the left wing rather than left back again, but didn't get the opportunity. No. Because I think he wanted to make sure that the tide was sort of stemmed a little bit. We didn't want to get a battering again, did we?
No.
So listen, the league is due to start on either the 7th of 8th or 8th of August, depending whether we're drawn away, because one or two clubs play on a Friday night, including I think it was the winners of the league last season. Was it Grenadier?
Grenadier play on a Friday night, and FC Community I think play on a Friday night.
Yeah, they do. So yeah. So listen, looking at what we've seen so far, very, very difficult to say whether we're prepared or not. What we've managed to do is we've managed to retain, 12 or 13 players from last season, which puts us on, gives us a better start than we've ever had in the last 4 years.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're not rebuilding a scratch squad from start. Barney's been working overtime to try and make sure we've got as good a squad as what we possibly can going into the season, and he'll be able to showcase that in a bit more detail this season. This Saturday, actually, as we host Poulton at Richmond Park.
Yeah. So listen, we'll come to the friendlies. Listen, we just go back to John Barnes for a minute. Barney Barnes. So listen, he has been announced as the interim manager now.
Yes, he has.
He's been busy working away behind the scenes bring interest, to the club and bring some more players to add to what we've already got. I don't think we're a million miles away in terms of bringing. I think maybe 4-5 players short, and I think we're probably 2 or 3 already in from that. But listen, as Barney said the other day, our real pre-season starts this Saturday.
Yeah, it does.
Against Poulton, who, by the way, will be no easy opposition either, because I think they finish above or just close to Burscough Richmond.
They finished. Poulton, I think, finished fourth or third in the league, so they finished above Burscough Richmond.
Very good team.
Yes, very good team.
Listen, we'll take a look at the FA Cup, the FA Vars, and the FA Trophy draw, and just look at one or two of the teams that we normally feature anyway. So the prize money for the winners in the extra preliminary round of the FA Cup is £1,125. The losers receive £375. So looking at some of the teams that are competing and drawing there's one that stands out: Clitheroe versus AFC Liverpool. What are we thinking about that one?
Ooh, that is a great game to be looking at.
Big rebuild at AFC Liverpool.
It is an enormous rebuild under Jack Edwards, and I'm not sure how well that's going to go, either domestically or in the cup competitions. I see Clitheroe winning that one at a bit of a canter, if I'm honest.
Yeah, well, we're not going to take bets on that one anyway.
No, we're not going to take bets on that one because both teams are in a bit of a mire right now, of uncertainty.
Clitheroe, like you say, did really exceptionally well in the trophy, so they're a good cup team, aren't they?
They are very good. Well, they're a good cup team, but AFC Liverpool are holders of the...
Fair enough, but he lost a lot of the players to Burscough.
Oh, they do, and the manager.
Should I say that? Anyway, Litherland, Remaker, Charnock, Richard, they are an all sort of Premier Division.
Well, yeah, I mean, most of these are by virtue of just being localised at this point.
Yeah, they're regionalised, aren't they? So.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, that's, again, it's a bit of a wonderful demonstration as to how Steve Scott and Ryan Donnellan have been getting on over the summer. Litherland with that reprieve, and Charnock Richard, who we honestly think, or at least I think, have the capacity to go a lot higher than their past couple of finishes have suggested. So yeah, that'll be a good little demonstrator for both of these sides, really. The one that I really like is Blythe Spartans, so it's a bit more off-peak than what we're normal. So Blythe Spartans, who you may remember during the early days of the Speaking Frankly football show, we interviewed their super fan, Mr. Tony Young. After his very passionate rant to his players after the defeat against is it Bambridge?
Yes,
Bambridge.
I think so.
Absolutely. So they were relegated that season and finished the following season, which is the one that's just gone. They finished 16th in the Northern Premier League East. They take on Newcastle Blue Star in the...
Very much a north-east derby.
Well, yes. I mean, they're all north-east, north-west, central kind of derbies in their own right. But what's going to be particularly telling is that Blythe Spartans will be fielding, I should think, Dan Lanning. So Dan Lanning was the top scorer for Newcastle Blue Star last season.
So there'll be a bit of an edge to that.
And there's a bit of an edge to that one. He scored 118 goals in 179 games, which I think is absolutely brilliant. He's only 21 at this point, maybe a bit older than that. But yeah, he'll be out there for Blythe Spartans, facing his former club very early on. So Ramsbottom United versus South Liverpool is another one that we're going to be looking at. South Liverpool, a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde team, either have a great game or a terrible game by their old standards. But for Rammy, if you're Rammy, you want a trophy, don't you, really?
You're not going to get the FA Cup, then, are you? You're not going to win the FA Cup.
You never know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, who was the last non-league football club to win the FA Cup?
Is it Spurs?
Yeah, I think so.
There you go. Way back in the 20s.
Did I ask that question in the non-league quiz of the week? I'm sure I did.
You did.
Did I?
Yeah.
All right. Who had that question? I think it was Barlow, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I shouldn't have asked that question.
No, because I ended up winning.
Yeah. Anyway, looking at other ones here, Wythenshawe versus Padiham, the two teams that have been promoted. That's an interesting one.
That's a great little, great tie, that one. Probably gives you a bit of an indication of where the two teams are in terms of managing their promotional expectations, if you like. Yeah.
And the other one here, Euxton Villa versus Atherton LR.
Yeah.
So two teams that went up from the
Division 1 North.
From Division 1 North together, didn't they?
Yes, they did, yeah.
LR won and Euxton won the playoffs.
Yes,
is that
they
right?
did. That's right.
Memory serves me correct. So that's an interesting one again. Okay. And of course, I think now, I've been looking at Euxton. I think they're a decent side.
Yeah. I mean, we saw them play against Burscough. They were a brilliant side, very well drilled, very combative in certain areas, but had a lot of flair here and there as well, and a lot of willing runners. So I think they'll be, they're always a challenger, Euxton Villa. They always are. There's never been a case that they've been, easily dismantled. So for Davy Jones's boys, this will be a doubly difficult test, really. It also shows how far they're going to go since they finished third last season. Yeah,
and this is a really difficult one to sort of look through here. But if Burscough managed to beat Droylsden, then they would be at home to Garforth Town or West Didsbury and Chorlton in the preliminary round. So the one that we've been discussing there is the extra preliminary round.
Yeah, it is.
So the prize money doesn't go up significantly. So winners receive £1,444 and the losers receive £481. Not a great deal of.
That's the prelim round, isn't it?
Yes. So we're moving on to the pre-round. It's all ifs, buts, and maybes.
No. So the extra prelim round is this one, isn't it?
The one that we've just been discussing there, yeah. But of course, if they, like I say, if Burscough were lucky enough to win, they would have a home tie again to either Garforth Town or West Didsbury and Chorlton.
Belting.
And some of the bigger teams then join it, because there's teams that have missed the extra preliminary round.
Yeah, well, they've received a bye, haven't they, if you like?
Yeah, well, I think is it based on what you've done in the previous season in terms of the cup? I'm not entirely sure. There's a few there. So, Litherland and Remica, if they overcome Charnock Richard or vice versa, they would be at home to Prescott Cables, who start their journey in the FA Cup in the preliminary round. As do Bootle, so Beverley Town or Northwich Victoria. The winner of that will play Bootle at home, so people during the competition.
All of this?
Because I'm looking at the pieces of paper that we've got in front of us.
Well, yes, so am I. Didn't realise that he hasn't got any kind of lead on to that, if you like.
No, you don't need to have a lead. Being an experienced presenter.
So this is the preliminary round.
Yeah, we're on the preliminary round.
Right, so I was still looking at the extra preliminary, and you can tell me.
That's fair enough.
I mean, for crying out loud.
If you want to carry on looking at that, that's up to you.
No.
Well, listen, just extra preliminary round. We've been talking about Borough Rangers. They've withdrawn, obviously, from the league, and of course they've got they were due to play Marsk United, who we played before once upon a time in the. I think it was the FA Trophy, or it might have been the FA Cup. We played them once upon a time up at their place. Nice little part of the northeast is Marsk. So they've got a walkover due to Borough Rangers. I just don't know whether they receive the prize money. If anybody out there knows whether they'll receive the prize money due to it, they should do, shouldn't they? It's not their fault.
No, but they haven't earned it.
No, they haven't. But anyway, listen, what waits for Marsk anyway is Marsk will be away to either Yarmouth, Eaglescliffe or West Auckland Town. Right. No, I tell a lie. It's Concert or North Shields. So that's another northeast-esque derby. So just looking at those. Tadcaster or Glossop North End, depending on whether either one of them wins it, they will be at home to Stalybridge Celtic, who start their journey in the FA Cup as well. I think that sort of covers all the teams. So Ramsbottom and South Liverpool, where are they on this list? Let's have a nose. Yep.
Let me know.
So Runcorn Linnets, they start their journey in the preliminary round to Wersborough Bridge Athletic or Trafford. They would be at home to them.
And the winner of Rammy versus South Liverpool will travel to either Keighley Town or Longridge Town.
Right, okay. Particularly
that could be a
them.
decent little away day for Rammy if they get Keighley.
Yeah. Where's the Clitheroe one? That's what I want to know.
Clitheroe one is right below Rammy and South Liverpool. So Clitheroe or AFC Liverpool, the winner of that will play Wythenshawe or Padiham. So not much of an away day for Clitheroe.
That is a difficult one, isn't it?
Of course it is. I mean, both of those are difficult games, depending on where you go.
Should we move on to the FA Vars?
We can.
Yeah. Have we dealt with everything in the FA Cup?
Oh, I think so.
So as we know, listen, just to add a little bit more context to the FA Cup, who got to the fifth round of the FA Cup and beat, was it Crystal Palace in the fifth or was it the third? Third. Macclesfield,
yeah.
And they went on to play
Arsenal?
Don't know, they beat the FA Cup holders, didn't they? So it just show you that a non-league team can beat. We talked about Tottenham there, but the odds of a non-league team ever winning the FA Cup are very, very slim. But Macclesfield could have carried on going on a deep, really good run, couldn't they?
They could have done.
You know,
absolutely. Anyway, the FA Vars first qualifying round where the winners received £550 and the losers received £160. Well, £160 will probably pay a tiny, about half the coach money, really, won't it? For some of these clubs.
Pay a fifth of it.
How much did we used to pay for a coach? Like when we went over to like Selby or up to
700.
What?
700. Maybe even 800 quid.
No.
Yeah.
For a bus?
You're booking it by the hour, aren't you?
For crying out loud.
Yeah, it's expensive.
That's bloody awful. You might as well just buy a bus. And then we've got a Skelmersdale United coach.
Well, I don't know where Borough Rangers is, but we're talking about them because
North East.
So Squires Gate have got a walkover. They will be really, really pleased with that.
Yes, they will.
Because they were due to play them at home.
Yeah, I think so. Always nice to be an away team in a cup competition like this. But for Squires Gate, it was going to be home game. They don't need that now, so they are automatically through to the second round of qualifying.
So what stands out for you in this first qualifying round?
This is going to sound absolutely ridiculous, okay, but I am going to bring it to your attention. And that is number 39, which is Appleby Frodingham versus Charnock Richard.
Right.
The reason that stands out, Appleby Frodingham is based in Scunthorpe, where I grew up. Yeah. And when I was playing junior football, I scored my very first hat-trick against Appleby Frodingham at the age of 11.
11, yeah.
I was 11 years old and I scored my very first hat-trick in competitive football against Appleby Frodingham.
So based on that, Charnock Richard should absolutely slaughter them.
Yeah. Charnock Richard, I think, are going to slaughter them anyway. The kind of talent that they've got. They just released their retention list as well. All the big names that you would kind of have expected, or you would have hoped that Charnock Richard would have kept hold of, are still there. Nathan Nikias is there. Jordan Dar is there. Gaz Pete.
The only thing that's changed is the chairman stepped down, hasn't he?
Chairman has stepped down. Yeah, but other than that, they've gone about their business like really quietly. Again, they're making a few signings. They've made the signing of Bobby Carter, who's he's starting to become a bit of a Nick. Oh God, what's his name? The guy who travels around everywhere. Nick Heppel. Yeah. Bobby Carter's starting to become a bit of a Nick Heppel. He's played for about 4 or 5.
Don't all
counties.
the Heppels move quite regularly?
No, because Luke is still at Nelson.
Is he? Oh,
yeah,
good on him.
Yeah, well, they went up, so you'd like to think that he'd stay. Anyway, Bobby Carter's just signed for Charnock Richard. I'm sure he'll be hoping to get a run out in the game against Appleby Frodingham. Other ones that kind of jump out for us here. Sorry, am I talking too loud again?
No.
Okay, that's fine. Is the world's oldest football club, Sheffield. They play.
What number's that?
Yeah, 41.
41.
So they play Crowell Colts. Crowell Colts, who are in the North East Counties Division 1, so sort of the equivalent of the counties Division 1 North.
What I find really sad about looking at the draw for the FA Vars is and all the teams that we played. I think Chesterley Street, Armthorpe Welfare.
The last time that we were in the FA Vars first qualifying season before last, we played Selby Town. They got a home game against Bacup Borough.
So that's another...
my very first away day on a coach.
Yeah, it was a good day, wasn't it? A good day out.
I enjoyed that day.
Bad result in the end.
Lost 1-0.
Yeah, and the season before that, do you remember who we played in the FA Vars?
I wasn't there at that point.
I'll tell you who we played against. Runcorn Town.
Runcorn Town.
I think we drew it in normal time, and I think we lost out on penalties. That was Matt Potter was in charge at the time.
Sure.
And guess who was playing? And guess who scored the winning goal for
Runcorn Town?
Runcorn Town. Yeah. He's like the granddad of football.
Kevin Ellison.
Kevin Ellison. Yeah. So my experience of watching him, what a player he is. So other ones that stand out here for me: Everton LR versus Camelaird. Yeah, I think that'll be a difficult one for Camelaird.
Oh yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. It's Everton LR at home. Always going to be very, very difficult for anybody. I think number 4. Sorry, I already talked about 41. So I'm going to go to 44, which is Stafford Town against Abbey Halton United. So both of these clubs ran each other pretty close 2 seasons ago.
But Abbey Halton kicked on and Stafford didn't?
Yeah, absolutely. So Abbey Halton came through in the playoffs. I think they beat Stafford actually in the final. And obviously Stafford didn't they didn't continue that wonderful form last season. I think they made the playoffs but were well beaten by Eccleshall in the semi-finals. Those are the kind of the ones that jump out a little bit.
Well, Main Road home to Litherland Remica, so that's a all
that's an all relegated, not relegated.
Yeah. Ashton Athletic host FC St Helens. I imagine FC St Helens are the definite favourites for that.
The side formerly known as MSB Woolton are hosting AFC Liverpool at number 26.
So they're now called
Woolton.
So they've dropped the MSB and now they're called Woolton. Glossop North End are home to Staveley Miners Welfare. Winterton Rangers, another team that we played away from home in the FA Vars. Had a fantastic long weekend
in Scunthorpe.
Well, I stayed at Clitheroe, to be honest with you. I stayed in a hotel in Clitheroe with James. It was his 16th birthday, I think.
Oh, amazing.
So that's going back, 20 years ago. And who did I say they're playing? Darwin, yeah. Good
little away trip for Darwin across the M62 and up the M180. They'll have a great time. Going to there. It's a great little setup over at Winterton Rangers as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely smashing.
Harrogate Railway Athletic versus Grangetown Boys Club, and I'm mentioning that again because once again that's another team that we used to regularly play or seem to regularly play in the Vals or the FA Cup, been over there a few times.
Yeah.
Kendal Town versus Steep, and a return of Route 1 Rovers who will host AFC Blackpool.
Sounds good, that.
Yeah. And like I say, if that's the first qualifying round, if you look at
the full length of the M55
if you go to the FA Vars second qualifying round, it's hard work to look through that. So I'm not even going to look through it, but we'll keep hold of these bits of paper.
Yeah, and then we'll start highlighting them.
They'll become current sooner or later.
Of course,
right now
will.
They're not. But some teams that are joining in the second qualifying round, the likes of Penrith, Holker Old Boys, Whitley Bay, Tolaw Town, some great names amongst them. Garstang will be playing Shildon.
That's a good draw for Garstang.
Yeah. Uttoxeter Town, they join the competition.
Uttoxeter Town, home of our good friend Paul, the non-league rover, who came over to see us when we were at Burscough a couple of seasons ago. Good to see him again if he comes over.
They're away to Atherstone Town or
Boldmere Rangers. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, another team that have made the jump up from, was it the Cheshire League? I think West Cheshire League was Crewe. Into the North West Counties Division South, aren't they?
Yes, they are. They're in Division 1 South.
Yeah, they're at home to Cotton Green.
Cotton Green.
Cotton Green. I'm assuming it's pronounced that. Somebody else will tell me.
Sure, I should imagine so.
But if Walton beat AFC Liverpool or vice versa, they'll be at home to Main Road or Litherland Remaker. Upper Mill, who are newcomers again, they've been drawn at home to Retford or Euxton Villa. Flixton or Worsborough Bridge Athletic. So Flixton are hosting Worsborough Bridge Athletic. They will be at home to Wakefield, or the winner will be at home to Wakefield. McGull, they start the competition there as well. They're at home to Horbury Town or Clubthorne Colliery. Newcastle Benfield at home to Thornton Cleveleys as they start the journey. Some fantastic looking. And Squires Gate, who've got a bye by the fortune of Borough Rangers folding. They will be away to Thornaby. I'm sure I've been to Thornaby or Blythe.
Thornaby, that's up Middlesbrough way, give or take.
Or Blythe Town.
It's on the coast, I think.
Nice. So that sort of concludes the FA Vars. Let's not throw our notes away too soon.
Get the paperclip.
So FA Trophy preliminary round. So we look at the
winners receiving £1,500 and the losers receiving £400.
It's a lot better, isn't it?
Little bit better.
So the preliminary round draw is as follows: Congleton Town at home to Beverley Town, Pontefract Collieries at home to Clitheroe, Bulmere St Michael's versus Long Eaton United, Sporting Club Inkbarrow versus Barwell, Haringey Borough versus Biggleswade Town, Buckhurst Hill versus Welling Garden City, Hadley versus Stockfold, Felixstowe and Walton United versus Mulbarton Wanderers, Cobham versus Egham Town.
There's nobody in there that has a vested interest in the North West Counties at this point, though.
Well, no, they wouldn't. This is the FA Trophy, so
I know. But
it's Northern Premier League upwards.
Yeah, but we went from Congleton and then Clitheroe, and now we're just chatting nobodies. I'm
just going through the preliminary round, so everybody knows who's meeting who.
Fine.
So where was it then?
Hadley.
Who?
No, Cobham. Cobham versus Egham.
Cobham versus Egham Town.
South Park.
Which is Reigate versus Broadbridge Heath. Jersey Bulls. We need to invest a little bit more time in Jersey Bulls, because we featured them on one of the shows and we've never gone back to that. But they were another sort of what were they? A sort of festive team. How were they? I can't remember now. There was something about them. Can you remember what it was? Are they one of these teams that have just been started?
No.
Backed by big owners?
Maybe. I think they were promoted after...
Well, that's your homework for the week.
Fine.
So when you leave here, I want you to start looking at Jersey
I've
Bulls.
got a week off now from work, so I'll do that.
Brilliant. So they're home to Hayes and Yeading United. Merton, is it Merton?
Sure.
Versus Ashford Town, Middlesex. Herne versus Harrow Borough. Dealtown versus Hartley Wintney. Poulton Rovers versus Slimbridge. AFC Stoneham versus Barnstaple Town. Is that the proper pronunciation? So anyway, moving on from that, because the one that really matters is the second qualifying round, which you really wanted to talk about, isn't it? So a lot of the big teams from the the Northern Premier League begin their journey.
The tanks start to roll in here.
So the winners receive £1,500 and the losers receive £400. So
exactly
Bootle,
the same as the preliminary round, oddly enough.
It is indeed, that's strange, isn't it? So Liversedge, another team that we played away from home as well in some cup competition, they will host Bootle. Prescott Cables will be playing Vauxhall Motors. Hallam will be at home to Mossley. Stocksbridge Park Steels at home to Runcorn Linnets. Padiham versus Pontefract Collieries or Clitheroe, whoever wins. Congleton Town or Beverley Town versus Atherton Collieries. Lower Breck versus North Ferriby. Is there anything else you want to point out there? Newcastle Town versus Bourne Town. Didn't they have a particularly good journey in the FA Vars the season before last?
Yeah, they did. They knocked out...
Did they win it?
I think they may have done. They certainly knocked out LR.
Yeah, okay.
Let's have a look. I can't really...
Well, you do a little bit of homework there and tell me who won the FA Vars, whether it was Bourne Town, but I don't know. So some of the ones that stick out for me is Ashington versus West Auckland Town, two absolutely fantastically historic football clubs up in the northeast. Silsden versus Concert, Blythe Spartans versus 1874 Northwich. That's a really great journey for them.
Yeah, good for
them. Did I mention Stalybridge Celtic versus Bradford Park Avenue?
No, but you have done now.
Yeah. Hanley Town, newly promoted, are they to the... Did we say they're newly promoted to the... wherever? They are home to Coles Hill Town. Carlton Town versus Shepshed Dynamo. Yet again, Shepshed Dynamo is another place that we've been to, and I think we were successful whenever we went there. We played a cup game there once before. All tough places to go and play. Hashtag United versus Royston Town.
Carnage. Yeah.
Some interesting ones.
So Bourne Town exited at the quarter-final stage in the 24-25 season. They were beaten by AFC Whiteleaf by a goal. I think it was them that won it, wasn't it? No, they didn't. Bourne Town beat Atherton LR on penalties in that particular game, and then Bourne were knocked out by AFC Whiteleaf. AFC Whiteleaf made it to the final, but they were beaten by Whitstable Town.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
After extra time at Wembley.
Yeah, and looking at the prize money right throughout the rounds there, if you get through the preliminary and first round, it goes up to 2,250. Third qualifying round goes up by £200. First round proper is 3,000. It's 3,750, 4,500, 5,250, 6,000, 7,500, 15,000 for the semi-final, and if you manage to get to the final, it's £60,000 for the winners and £30,000 for the losing club, and of course of the share of the gate revenue, one would imagine.
Well, last year it was about 40,000 when Whitstable it was about 38,000, but when Cockfosters played last season.
Why do you always laugh when you say Cockfosters? I always think more of a drink than I think I'll shut up. But listen, by contrast,
they got beaten by Stoneham.
Yeah, by contrast, the FA Vars and the payments in that. If you get to the final and you win it, you get £30,000. If you're the runner-up, you're the 15,000. Semi-final, you get as far as the semi-final, and you only get 5,500 if you win that. That's ridiculous, isn't it? But that said, if you win all of those rounds and you get up to the final and win it, you won 35, 34, about 50,000, 45,000 pounds. So it wouldn't be so bad if you won it all, would it?
No.
But yeah, that sort of concludes our view on the
FAs.
Yeah, and listen, a lot of the, like I said, a lot of the fixtures came out. The league fixtures. We knew about the FA Cup fixtures come out the other day. All the cup fixtures. It's always that interesting part of the season if you're in the National League system. Is when the cup games come about, because you're looking at the draw. And you're wondering what I don't like when they do the extra preliminary round draw and then the preliminary round draw, because you already know who you. I like to wait until
Monday, the suspense, don't you?
Monday afternoon or Monday morning, whenever it is, and I like the suspense of knowing when the final.
No, I think I would too.
The next.
Do you prefer a home game or an away game for a cup game?
Oh, you know what? I've always said that I prefer an away game. I love some of the away games that I've been to over the years. I mean, even when we were playing in the league, we were playing the likes of Durham and Newcastle Blue Star. I used to love going up to places like that. So yeah, for me, Marsk, I think I had an overnight stay over there when we played up there. Certainly did with Winterton Rangers. Yeah, I just love the excitement of the away games, and if you can spend a long weekend there as well, even better. I just think it's... and I've tried to do it with Shawbury. We play Shawbury a week on Saturday, don't we?
Yes.
And it just... logistically, I can't make it work for me.
To spend a long weekend there.
Yeah, between Rowena and I, we just can't make it work, so it's unfortunate. But yeah, I love the cup draws.
Can I have a lift then?
What's that?
Can I have a lift to Shawbury?
Shawbury, oh yeah, listen, if I'm travelling down there on the day, you most certainly can. Whether there'll be much space in the car, because as you know, my car, or the one thing you'll be able to do is you'll be able to get rid of the posts. I can't wait to get rid of them posts. What's it called? What are they called? Them training posts, they're called something specific, aren't they?
It's poles, aren't they?
Well, poles, but anyway, I carry them. I have to carry them for the purpose of training on the Tuesdays and Thursdays because it's on grass. So I can't wait until our first training session on first Wednesday in September, when I can lash them
into the garage
somewhere that they can't be seen for a while, because they take up. They literally come right from the back of my car onto my armrest, and they're getting on my bloody nerves.
Yeah. Imagine if you crash and then that thing's going through your elbow, and then you've got another thing to worry about.
Well, they're very lightweight, so I doubt that they'd probably bend and shatter before they did. But I mean, it depends which way round they are, by the way.
Yep.
Because if it's the pointy edge, they're like javelins.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know.
So yeah, looking forward to the. What other friendlies have we got, by the way? We need to highlight.
What other friendlies have we got? So at the minute, we've got Bolton FC this weekend, and then we've got a week to go, and then we're at Shawbury. Then after that, we have Stalybridge at home on Tuesday, the 21st of July. It's a 7 o'clock kickoff. That's away. That's at the bridge at Appley Lane South. Then on Friday the 24th, we visit Broxteeds Park, taking on Ashton Athletic. Then,
interesting one.
After that, we're on our travels to South Liverpool Reserves. We play them at Jericho Lane. And then we finish our pre-season on the 1st of August with a little game against a fellow opposition in the league, Granby Toxteth Athletic, over at the Tiber Sports Village. All of these fixtures are available on social media to take essential details from, such as where we are and what time, etc. So we have a stacked pre-season. Yeah,
and sort of finishing off now, pre-season fixtures. Friendly fixtures Friday. What's tonight, isn't it? Thinking about it now. So Nelson are playing a Burnley under 18s, under 21s.
Lovely.
They're just about to kick off at 7 o'clock. So
it's all kicking off.
That's an interesting one. But Saturday, of course, we've mentioned Skemmer at home to Poulton at Richmond Park. That kick-off is 1 o'clock. Yep. There's no charge. So anybody's more than welcome to come along to that one. Some of the ones that have managed to pull that out of the bag. And like I said, it's very, very difficult because not a lot of teams are sort of coming forward with their pre-season fixtures. But so Saturday, Atherton LR versus Southport, that's a 2 o'clock kickoff. Yep. Avro at home to Droylsden. I'm assuming that's 3 o'clock, but just check up on social media to find out whether it is. Burscough have got another double header on Saturday, so they're at home both games. So they've got FC Bootle at 12 o'clock kickoff. And then they play Prescott Cables at 3:30. I'm hoping to get along to that one after we've played our game against Bolton. Clitheroe have got a double header as well. See, the Clitheroe, no, they haven't. Sorry, Bury have got a double header. So Clitheroe are at home to Bury. That's a 12 p.m. kickoff. And then Chorley host Bury as well. That is a 3 o'clock kickoff. So I think they've made it there so the fans can go and watch both of the games. That's an interesting one for Anthony Johnson. So he'll have to fly from one game to another. I'm assuming that they're sending 2 lots of different squads out for that one.
Send a full squad.
So Darwin are at home to Padiham in a, what would you call it, but an East Lancashire derby?
Yeah, I think so.
That's a 2 o'clock kickoff. Garstang are at home to Ramsbottom, yet again.
Lovely.
2 o'clock kickoff. So Clan Gwicklin, they host Glossop North End. That's a 1:30 kickoff. Lower Breck are at home to Walton. Have dropped the MSB there, as you noticed. 2 o'clock kickoff. Marine have got a really exciting one. I don't know whether it's going to be a full strength Blackburn Rovers squad, but that's a 3 o'clock kickoff. So get down to that one. That seems That sounds like
It's a
really
smasher, that
interesting. Yeah. Runcorn Linnets at home to FC United. Another belting tie there, as we know. Christian Mikuko has left Burscough and he's now at FC United. I think he featured in their previous friendly, and I think he got on the score sheet as well.
Amazing.
So he's hit the ground running.
Go on, kid.
Really, really good, exciting talent he is. Runcorn Town at home to Barton. 3 o'clock kickoff. Trafford host Flixton. That'll be an interesting one for them at 2 o'clock. You expect a big crowd for that one. Widnes Town are at home to Warrington Town. I don't know where that is kicking off, but that's a 1 o'clock kickoff anyway. And Woolton are at home to Lower Breck, so that must be a different Woolton, mustn't it?
Woolton FC.
Woolton FC are at home to Lower Breck. Well, that's the same Woolton, isn't it?
No.
Oh no, listen, we've got it mixed up. It's actually Lower Breck that scrub that one. I'm repeating the same one, I've just got it the wrong way around. So yeah, Lower Breck are playing Woolton at home at the Anfield Sports Stadium.
Yes.
So that concludes the friendlies that I can pick up from
social media.
It's hard work trawling through that. Yeah. I'll tell you. In between that and picking my nose, you know what I mean? It's hard work. No, I don't pick my nose, full context. I don't.
That's
I
fine.
use a tissue. I don't know why I'm telling anybody that. But
what's wrong with you?
Listen, it's been hot, and I've. You know the one thing that we haven't had all the way through this, we haven't had a hydration break. I think we need to start having hydration breaks.
Hydration breaks now. Just in the middle of the podcast, put on the adverts to make it really Americanized, and then wonder why on earth our viewership goes down.
Yeah. Listen, I think it's been a really interesting, exciting podcast.
Yes, it
for our second episode. I've really enjoyed it. Yeah, it's a briefer one than normal, but that's great. People can listen to this within 2 lunch hours rather than 6. Possibly, hopefully, Barney won't let us down next week. And what have you got to say to Barney?
Pooh.
Yeah, you little shit.
Yes.
Yeah. To say it lightly. So listen, we're hoping we'll have him on the show next week, and it will be a return of the quiz, the non-league quiz of the week. Okay. Yeah, looking forward to that because I've set the questions already. So I'm going to be quiz master, and you two are going to be under scrutiny like you've never been before. And let's see who comes out on top, because you've got a reputation to look after, haven't you?
Apparently so, because I accidentally won one of these things.
Yeah, by half a point, was it?
Nah, it was a full point. A full 5 points, yeah.
No, well, yeah.
It was one
It was
question.
debatable. We thought you cheated.
I didn't cheat.
You got too many hints. You got one more hint than you should have done.
What, on the first question?
Yeah, listen,
which was a 3-part.
There won't be any hints. In the next episode, there will be absolutely no hints whatsoever.
Well, that's a bit unfair.
Yeah. Listen, we're also hoping to have Ben Barnes on at some stage.
Edwin van der Barnes.
We were supposed to have him next week. We're going to have to contact him first and say, listen, Barney's let us down.
Well, do you know what?
How many times
he'll probably find it out for himself on this podcast.
Yeah, well, if he listens.
He does.
Yeah, he'll occasionally listen, won't he?
Kate does.
Well, yeah, Kate does.
Kate will let him know.
Yeah. So, yeah, listen, we look forward to next week. One week
at a time.
Yeah, 1 week at a time at the moment. And let's see what comes from the Pilton game. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know about you.
Well, I won't be there.
You won't be there? You never told me that. Where are you going?
Sorry, mate. I'm not going anywhere.
You're not going anywhere?
No, I've got... Well, I'm going car scouting. I'm going car scouting.
Oh, right. Yeah. You don't want to admit you're under the thumb, do you?
Shut up! I'm not under the thumb at all. Honestly. But, I'll be there for most of the others. It's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was there for hardly any of them last season.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Well, listen, it's only 1 o'clock kickoff. Surely you can get down for a 1 o'clock kickoff.
You would like to think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you might find a car by 10.
That's the point.
I've never seen anybody smoke a paperclip before.
I'm smoking a paperclip. The ADHD's just making me just do weird shit.
You look like Popeye with a pipeline. Anyway, listen, what have you learned in the last week?
Motorists are arseholes, cyclists are also arseholes. And I don't know. It's really difficult to kind of ascertain what we've learned off the premise of a handful of friendly games and not much else, really. I suppose what I wonder is how on earth all of these fixtures get allocated, whether they just use a random generator or somebody is there within the FA just pulling endless balls out of a hat.
It's scrutinised, isn't it, by a neutral observer, so I don't think there's any shenanigans.
A neutral observer within football?
Well, I think somebody's there that's oversees it.
Well,
I don't think, listen, we need to say, allegedly, there could be some kind of...
Yeah, I certainly hope that there is somebody there to uphold the reputation of the FA, unlike at FIFA.
Yeah. Listen, I was just thinking there, you're on your journey way back up Parbold Hill now.
Yes.
I was going to get you to... I've got a little trailer to put on the back of your bike so you can split some of this gear. I've got no space in my garage anymore.
No.
So I want to take some of the stuff out of the,
the garage does look like an aisle at B&Q.
Yeah. So if I put the trolley then, just for your fitness purposes, I'll collect it tomorrow. Or even later on tonight, but just for fitness purposes, if I put the trailer on the back of your bike, and you can cycle up Parbold Hill with it.
Why the hell would I do that?
Because you want to... Well, I want you to sweat. I want you to suffer.
What, because I didn't arrive here looking like some kind of newly born child, just covered in fluids?
Yeah, exactly.
Crying.
Anyway, listen, what I've learned, I think we mentioned it, we've certainly discussed it. We've been training at Richmond Park.
Yes.
First time ever I've ever seen it in history. Two teams, Burscough and Skem, as rivals, were training on the same training pitch.
Whoa, I'm surprised there wasn't a fight.
Yeah.
Half a pitch each.
The camaraderie, the relationship between the two chairmen now, me and Jay Hawkes, is second to none. I know a lot of people have said, "Oh, you can't be friends with the arch enemies," but I have to thank Jay. I think Jay's been extremely helpful towards Scottish United Football Club. And of course, Paul Gilchrist by allowing us to come back next season. So I've learned that you can have friends. Listen, when you're actually playing each other, you're both on opposite teams, and you're winning your own team on, and you can call each other fit to burn. But off the pitch, there's no reason why you can't be friends.
True.
Absolutely love them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, brilliant.
Lovely.
So on that note. I would say to AJ, listen, can you give us the final words? And I'm not even going to mention the final words from AJ in dulcet tones. I'm not going to mention that.
Unlike you just have.
All right, sorry. So go on then.
Fine. You've been listening to the Speaking Frankly Football Show with me, AJ the Jet, and my co-host, Mr. Frank Hughes. This podcast is available on most streaming services, wherever you get your podcasts, including Amazon and Spotify. Please rate and review, as we do thrive off hearing your feedback. Please also subscribe so that you can find out when a new episode of the show has been released. We're also available on social media sites, most prevalently Facebook and X, under the banner term Speaking Frankly Football Show. And so from myself and Frank, thank you so much for tuning into another episode, and we'll see you next week for more of the same. Until then, a very goodbye for now.